Welcome to Best Year Ever, a podcast designed to inspire growth and impact so you can have your best year ever. And I'm Rob Cressy, and it is March 1st. So I want to jam about how you can have your best March ever. But first, what we need to do is check in on the first 2 months of the year. So how did February go for you? What I want you to do is to think about what is the single best thing that happened in February. And this could be in any area of your life. And what I want you to do is to write this down. And if you've got multiple victories from February, write this down. And the reason for this is I want you to be able to live in this, to feel this, the love and gratitude and joy for something great happening for you in February. What I also want you to do is to now look at this from a business standpoint. What were some of your wins in business? What was the momentum that you built? So often we are quick to not give ourselves credit for the progress that we made. I want you to live in joy, in abundance, in momentum. So looking at business, looking at the best things that happened in February. Now what I want to do is to look at the first 2 months of the year. Is there a word or words that you would use to describe how 2021 has gone so far in the first 2 months? For me, the 2 words that I would use to describe my year so far is loving and sharp. I'm feeling so much love in everything that I do, and I'm feeling very sharp, specifically in February. It was a big month for me because I spent a bunch of time in Florida, got back into Chicago, and boom, got my routine, got back in my studio, and I've got that edge, I've got that sharpness, which translates from my mind to the action. Sometimes we go through life and we look back and say, where did this year go? Well, guess what? When you're checking in monthly, it gives you the opportunity to be aware of how things are going. It's not going to be July or September or October, and you're like, whoa, I didn't check back in to see what's going on. That's what the rest of the world does. We're checking in on a monthly basis at minimum. And this is a self-audit for you. This is very agnostic. It doesn't matter. There's no good or bad. Just get a candid look at what were the first 2 months for you. If things are going great, amazing. Keep that momentum going and do even more of it. If there's some areas in your life that you can improve on, good. Now you know what those are. So what I want you to do is to write down the areas from the first 2 months where you say, you know what? Here's some areas where I would like to improve on. Because the good news is the past is the past. And starting with today, change can happen. You can start making progress on those things that you want to work on. And once again, write these things down. You're going to hear me say this a million different times. Writing down the best thing that happened, writing down the victories, writing down the good things in business, writing down words that describe your month and year so far, writing down the areas of improvement for yourself. Because it's not good enough just to think about it. It's better when you think about it and then write it down, because what you can then do is you can go back and reread some of these things and to get back that feeling or get back that intention of what it is that you want to do or be. So let's look now ahead towards March. Ask yourself this: what are you excited for in March? If you don't have anything, that should be a big red flag. Get something on your calendar that excites you. And once again, this is not just a business thing. This is a totality of your life thing. So look at all areas of your life. What are you excited about? On my end, I am so excited about March because it is March Madness, one of my favorite times of the year. And last year, I can even remember this. I was ready for March Madness, had the time blocked off in my calendar. I'm going to spend 4 days doing nothing except watching college basketball. And guess what happens? This was really the start of everything shutting down with the pandemic. So for me, I really learned to appreciate March Madness because it was not there last year. So I'm going to allow the joy and feeling of March Madness to be with me all month because I am so excited for it. Another thing that I'm actually really excited about is my coaching business. I'm excited to help more clients launch their podcasts, excited to help more clients work on their mindset and fulfill their potential. I just love being in conversation with awesome people doing awesome things. And the crazy thing happens. We create amazing results. So those are the things that I'm excited about in March, but I want you to sit and think, what are you excited about in March? And once again, write that down, because once you write it down, then you can go every single morning and reread that. And once you read something, now you're going to be more intentional about it. So imagine every day this month, you reading the thing that you're excited about in March. How do you think your vibes and energy and optimism are going to be when the thing you're most excited about is always top of mind for you? And it's a very simple thing that you can do to live with more joy and gratitude. But at the same time, it's also like a vitamin to ward off negativity, because so often people just aren't reminded of the good things that happen in their life. And a simple thing that we can do is just, well, why don't you just read the things that you're excited about? So this is a practice that works so well. I do it on a daily basis. Last thing that I want to do is sort of recap, and I'll do this every month, what I'm doing to ensure I have the best year ever. So number one, I have a 2021 best year ever folder on my phone. And what I do is I go in and every month put in photos that contribute to my best year ever. And this is such a simple thing. You can do it just once a month. You can do it on the last day of the month or the first day of the month. I did it on the airplane yesterday. So it took me, 5 minutes, and it was amazing because I got to go back in my photos and just put the ones that go in there. And then once again, I'm now in my 2021 best year ever folder, and I look at all the amazing things that have happened so far and the memories. And it's a great way to be intentional about the great things that happen in your life. And I'm probably going to continue to talk about life on one side, business on the other side, because I think one area where a lot of people get wrapped up is they think that business is their entire life. And business is a giant part of what I do and where my time goes on a daily basis. But I do not define myself just from business. There's so many areas. I really look at my life in terms of health, wealth, love, and happiness. 4 buckets there. So having the folder with the photos, very simple way for you to get that little drip of gratitude. And then once again, at the end of the year, you'll have your entire year, the best moments ever. And here's the good news. If you have not created this yet, you have plenty of time to do so. Trust me, starting this on March 1st and going back through your first 2 months, way easier than if this is November 1st and you're like, you know what, Rob, the year's almost done. So go ahead and create your 2021 best year ever album on your phone. Start putting photos in there. So number 2, ask yourself this question. How are you investing in yourself right now? Your growth and development. What I want you to do, here's a simple thing. Tell me the best book you read last month. Best book you read, Rob? What are you talking about? Yeah, I remember when I first started my entrepreneurial journey and I audited the success habits of the most successful people, and it said the average CEO reads 60 books a year. And I'm like, well, crap, I'm reading 0. Guess what? I got a reading routine because I wanted to constantly be learning and growing. So a simple thing you can do is just say, hey, here's the best book that I read this month or so far this year. And I would actually love to hear that from you, because I'm always looking for new books in the personal development, leadership, mindset, creativity, you name it. Hit me up at Rob Cressy on social. Let me know the best book that you read in February or so far this year. Another thing that I'm doing to invest in my personal development and growth is I recently invested in a coaching program with John Patrick Morgan. You can actually listen to the podcast episode, I believe it was in January, where we talk about his Being a Client Magnet program. It was 8 weeks. It was extremely intensive. There was a video component to it with a series of 53 videos. You know what I'm doing to ensure my growth and development? I am running it back. What do I mean by that? I am rewatching all 8 weeks of videos one day at a time. And the reason I'm doing this is because I can't believe that I got all of the value out of that program just by consuming it once. I'm someone who knows that the more often you read or hear or listen to something, the more often that you'll be able to retain it, like riding a bike. So if you ride a bike over and over and over again to get better, well, guess what? Your personal development and your mindset and growth is the same thing. So for me, I'm running it back on this coaching program, and I know that this is going to serve me so well and serve you because I'm going to get better. And when I get better, I'm going to share it with you. So that's something that I am doing on my end to consistently work on my growth. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is, what are you doing to be intentional on a daily basis about designing growth into your life? And last month I mentioned, hey, you can wake up 1 minute earlier. So if you currently wake up at 6 a.m., wake up at 5:59 a.m. Boom, you designed growth into your life that way. Nice and easy thing. What I want you to also think about is, what are the various areas where you can do one more of something to build growth into your life? So a good example of this is at the gym. I always do one more rep or one more set. And I'll actually call it my one more rep. And then I usually do at least one more after that. For all the people who just do one more, I'm going to do one more on top of that. But this becomes a lifestyle and a mindset. I've got a Peloton, and I'm always pushing myself on there. When they give the max, boom, I'm doing one, I'm doing another one there. So always look for opportunities in your daily life where you can do one more of something. And it doesn't have to be fitness. You could do one more, reach out to someone that you want to connect with and just say, hey, I was thinking about you. Boom. Do that 30 times over 30 days. You just connected with 30 more people. I say I love you to someone one extra time a day. Boom. You're bringing more love and growth in your life. Give one personal compliment a day. Boom. You're going to give more gratitude to others, and that's going to come back to you. So there's so many opportunities in such a simple way to build growth into your life. Just think about the areas. What's one thing you can do? And then go make it happen. And as a call to action, there's a lot of stuff that I talked about that can deliver growth and impact and love in your life. And I'd love to hear from you. What are the action items that you took in January or February from this show or from this specific podcast right here? Is there something that resonated with you that you really like or that you've taken action on? You can hit me up on all social media platforms at Rob Cressy. I would love to hear from you. You can also hit me up, rob@robcressy.com. Shoot me an email. And sort of one way that I can help you is by being in conversation, because one of the things that I love is talking with someone about their vision and what they want to accomplish. And if you're someone who's ready to take your growth to the next level, then I invite you to be in conversation with me, or we can have a 30-minute jam session that says, hey, what are you looking to accomplish? How can I help? And then we formulate a plan to make that happen. Once again, at Rob Cressy on all social media platforms, or rob@robcressy.com. Sending tons of good vibes your way. Let's make March the best month of the year. I'm going to do it. I know you're going to do it. I'm looking forward to checking in 1 month from now, where we talk about all the amazing things that have happened so far. Sending tons of good vibes your way.